Trafford are tonight being urged to fight a proposal to build 750 new homes on Greenbelt land. Opponents said that the plan to build on a golf course in Flixton will destroy a much loved area.
But supporters say it's part of a huge long-term plan to ease Greater Manchester's housing crisis and it'll boost the local economy. Well, our political editor Nina Warhurst is at Trafford Council where the meeting is about to start. Nina, this plan is really dividing opinion, isn't it?
That's right, Annabelle. Tonight's meeting is essentially about the human cost of urban growth, whether it's worth using some Greenbelt land so that development can happen. It's been called by the opposition here in Trafford because they want the council to acknowledge that thousands of residents in Flixton do not want this plan to go ahead. Now, it's part of Greater Manchester's spatial framework plan. They predict that the local economy could grow by £5 billion over 2 decades, but for that to happen, we need more than 200,000 new homes. And for that to happen, we'd have to erode some of our green belt, not just here in Trafford, but across Greater Manchester. This is Dearden's farm in Overholton near Bolton. Michael's feeding cows here as his father did before him. Laura was hoping to carry on the tradition, but now this land is vulnerable to development.
It'll just be a complete change of life. Everybody says to me, what am I going to do if we go? And I haven't got a clue, to be honest, what I'm going to do. So
this is all you know?
This is all I know. It's all I've ever done since I was a child. Yeah, so what can you do?
Michael's farm is currently part of Greater Manchester's protected Greenbelt land, which makes up 47% of the landmass. Under new developments, these areas in orange will be freed up to be built on. And if that happens, Greater Manchester's Greenbelt will drop to 43%. This is the William Rowe Golf Course on the other side of Greater Manchester in Trafford, and like Michael's farm, it's earmarked for development under the plan. It's a plan that says over the next 2 decades, Greater Manchester's population will go up by almost 300,000, and for that we need to be ready. But to be ready, something's got to give. In all, 5,000 hectares could be lost, but all 10 council leaders say that by taking control, the remaining green space will be better protected.
Well, I think the consequence of not having a plan is that we end up with development anyway, in an unconstrained way, and I think it's very important that we are able to say we know where development's going to be, we plan for it, so that we can control it.
But new homes mean new pressures on existing communities, and more than a dozen MPs got together to say they're worried that already stretched public services could buckle.
If there's going to be a substantial building of new houses, we need the infrastructure to be improved as well. We need better roads, provision for schools and hospitals and doctors. All this needs to be taken into account.
Michael says he fully understands that the world keeps moving and he must move with it or get left behind. He just hopes his family doesn't have to give up its way of life. Well, Andrew Weston joins me now. He's the leader of the Labour group here at Trafford Council who called the meeting tonight. What do you hope to achieve by tonight's meeting?
Well, primarily we're looking to secure a cross-party acknowledgement of the strength of feeling of Flixton residents, and also an acceptance that, given that strength of feeling and given the nature and makeup of the site, that the council should never have put this forward for consideration in the spatial framework in the first place. I think beyond that, if we are able to secure that agreement, we'd be hoping that all councillors, cross-party, will be sending in their objections, citing their problems with the Flixton proposal to make clear to those who are pulling together the final document that Flixton is not an appropriate site.
Andrew, people will be sat at home thinking, we desperately need new houses. This is a classic case of not in my backyard, isn't it?
Well, the first thing I'd say is that I am personally very supportive of the principle of the Greater Manchester Spatial Framework, and the larger sites across Trafford that are going to be developed on Greenbelt land, I feel we have to support to secure the homes that we need for the future. But this is a very different case, and I would challenge anybody who thinks that to go and take a look at this site in Flixton that has been a cherished local facility.
Well, every area that's being built on will be cherished by somebody, won't it?
But I think there is a huge difference between strategically important sites, like, for example, are proposed in Carrington and at Timperley Wedge in Trafford, and a small, central within a village location that will mean real upheaval for the local community.
Okay, we will see at tonight's meeting whether or not any pressure is put on the council and they do indeed amend those plans. Just one thing to note, you saw David Nuttall there talking about his frustration about the fact that this is pressing ahead from Greater Manchester's combined authority. Don't forget, we are now 5 months away from having 2 elected mayors in the region. We're going to be seeing a lot more power, important powers like this, devolved away from Whitehall. So do expect to see more tension between Westminster and our town halls. Back to you.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. Nina, thank you very much, our political